Hey guys, welcome to our full moon collective reading. We have a full moon in Leo today, and I'm actually recording this the night before the full moon peaks, but we're already in this energy. So I'm super excited to see what's going on here, to tap into that. But before we do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the astrological events that are happening right now as well. So as we know, the full moon is happening right now in the part of the sky that pertains to Leo in Western astrology, because in Vedic astrology, it's happening in Cancer. But even in Vedic astrology, there is a really big Leo energy present, because this full moon is happening together with Magha Punima, and Magha is a Leo nakshatra, so it's associated with Leo. So regardless, Leo is in the spotlight here, where it likes to be, right? So yes, this full moon is happening in the sign of Leo. So when there's a full moon, it means that the sun is in its opposite sign, which is Aquarius. So the sun actually being in Aquarius is considered to be at its detriment, because the sun rules Leo. So it's kind of right now the furthest it can possibly be away from its own home. And as we know, Aquarius is associated with other people, with friendships, with community groups, which may have been where a lot of the focus has been. So it really hasn't been like a very favorable time to like be focusing on ourselves, or to think about ourselves, maybe to prioritize ourselves, as much as it's been important to like try to cooperate and contribute within a group setting. But now with this full moon being in the sign of Leo, it is giving us that energy of like, okay, the spotlight is on me. I need to think about myself, who I am, my values. What do I want to prioritize? And yeah, it's just a time to really like focus on yourself and prioritize yourself. Like really be true to yourself and to what you feel and to your gut and to your heart, your intuition. Really be true to what you want to do. It's a good time to kind of like share your opinion, share where you stand on certain things, and like not to be afraid to do that, to be authentically yourself, to put yourself first, and to move in the direction that you're feeling led to be moved in, no matter what anyone else thinks, what anyone else opinionates, who agrees, who doesn't. It's like finding that courage to be yourself and to speak your truth, and to not be afraid to not belong somewhere, you know? When you understand that you belong everywhere but nowhere at the same time, there's a true freedom that comes with that, because it's a matter of being able to cooperate within a group, but to know that you will not be negotiating who you are, your worth, your values. You know, like these things aren't up for discussion. It's cool to be able to listen to other people, you know, to be flexible, to be able to hear other perspectives, and to even value other people's perspectives, but to understand like, but that's not my path, that's not what I choose. You know, understanding that we each have that freedom. So understanding that you don't have to fit in anywhere that you don't authentically fit in. You don't have to force yourself or make yourself fit in to any group that doesn't feel authentic and doesn't feel true to you. Understanding that you won't betray yourself in that way anymore. And that's what it means by belonging nowhere. Understanding like in reality, you don't belong anywhere. You belong to yourself. Which reminds me of a song by Jessica Simpson, I Belong to Me. I actually haven't heard that song in so long, and I love that song. So I'm definitely gonna listen to it afterwards. Maybe you guys should listen to it too. But yeah, it's just like choosing yourself, being able to choose yourself, like knowing what you're able to compromise and when that's appropriate for you, and then knowing what you will not compromise, you know? If it means that you're staying true to yourself. You always come first in the equation. That's how, you know, you have a backbone, and that's how you're strong, and you don't become codependent, or you don't become like anybody's doormat. You have to have like a strong sense of self. So this moon is really supporting that. However, Uranus is actually squaring this moon, and this is actually a more difficult aspect here. So we can expect for things to happen like really abruptly, unexpectedly, things that are going to cause like changes, you know, things that you can't really think about, that you just have to kind of respond to, and can cause just like major shifts, major changes that were unplanned, unexpected, came out of nowhere, but definitely have the potential to shift things, you know, to move things around. But also there's potential for like awakenings, to like become awakened to something being revealed, and then having to respond to this, you know, accordingly. So if there's anything, that's happening right now that you're feeling kind of like a gut feeling about, that you're feeling some kind of like intuitive feeling about, that it's not tangible, it's just a feeling that you should do something or that you should move away from something. Like if you receive any kind of like information, revelation around the time of this full moon, over these next 2 weeks, it'd be a good idea to kind of like be in charge of making whatever these changes are that need to be made, having the courage to just go ahead and do whatever it is that your heart is telling you to do, to like hear the calling and follow the calling and take matters into your own hands and make the changes that need to be made, because I think we're all going to be presented with an opportunity to really initiate these changes ourselves. But what happens if we don't initiate these changes and we kind of just like sit sit in this like discomfort of like not following your intuition or not doing something that you should do? I feel like this is one of those times where the universe steps in, and then like the universe will create an external situation that's going to force a change to happen, And if it happens that way, then it can just be a little bit more uncomfortable, more unexpected, more unplanned. Whereas if you take matters into your own hands and if you take action, on your own terms. So really pay attention to like what's coming up, what you're feeling here. Regardless, everything happens exactly as it should, so no worries. This is just like the astrological weather that's going on right now, the energies that you could potentially be feeling that are influencing all of us. But the good news is that Jupiter is also trining this full moon, and it's at home in its own sign in Pisces. So it's happy here, it's comfortable here, so this could be a time to really engage in spirituality or to kind of like commit to a new spiritual practice or to learn about something. It doesn't have to be spirituality, just something that, is going to complement, like being able to listen to yourself, trusting yourself, to accessing like your inner compass, your inner guidance, your inner wisdom, like being able to tap into that, being able to slow down. And yeah, it's just like, it's a time that is really supportive of like spirituality, spiritual practices, or studying something, learning something, having to do with this. Because when we become silent and still, it's easier, for all of like the clouds of illusion to dissipate, and then for us to be able to see clearly, to have clear vision, to become our own medicine, our own antidote to the poison that we create. Because it's always up to you, like, is it going to be more poison or are we going to heal? Like, we have the power to influence ourselves in both ways. So right now we're just really supported in being able to remove the poison and instead move into that healing energy to create the beautiful changes that need to be created where they need to be created, because it's happening for all of us in different parts of our chart. So check out where this is happening for you. If you want, you can comment your rising sign below and I can tell you what house this is happening for you. But that's basically like the general energy. And then depending on which house this is happening for you is like specifically where you might feel it the most. It'll be surrounding like those particular themes. So yeah, you guys, that's what's happening astrologically speaking. As you can see, I've already pulled some oracle cards here. I have yet to pull the tarot. We're going to do that together right now. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what the tarot cards have to say. So let's take a look. Okay, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles in the bottom of the deck. Not sure if you can see that, but let's just leave it there for now. Okay. So let's see. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing that you might have to be a little bit forward, be a little bit blunt when it comes to communication, when it comes to just being decisive about something that you are sure of, that you are really like standing behind. And being able to communicate those things, like being able to speak your truth in a very like bold and fierce way, in a very confident way, is going to be very healing. Because I think you're going to be able to prove to yourself that you can do this, that you do have the courage, that you do have the backbone, that you do believe that you are enough all on your own, that you are self-sufficient, that you are providing all of your own needs for yourself. You're not relying on anybody to provide some kind of need for you, and that's why you have to compromise, or that's why you have to try to blend in, try to fit in. It's like having that confidence of like, listen, I don't have to take this. I can be fine all on my own. Like having your boundaries and being able to maintain those up and to call it, if someone's crossing your boundaries, or, to really make a decision and be decisive about something. Like if someone crossed your boundaries, or if someone needs to be called out for whatever reason, not being afraid to call a spade, to say what you have to say, to take the action, to speak up. Because I feel like whenever we do feel afraid to speak up, it could potentially be because we have an anxiety of like not knowing if we can stand on our own 2 feet, not knowing if we can do this all on our own, not feeling like we're strong enough. And I feel like you taking this initiative, you taking this active role in your life is just what you needed. I feel like for so many of you guys, this has been a long time coming probably, like it's like you've been dealing with this for God knows how long, and like you're just reaching a breaking point is what it is. And Mercury is getting closer to Pluto, so this is a time to speak like big, deep truths that are really going to shift your future for the better, And what's so cool here is that we have the star and the sun, which is Aquarius and Leo. So super fitting for, the event. So yeah, it's definitely like balancing like self and others, like your own passion, purpose, sense of self with, considering the group, those around you. Because of course there needs to be like a healthy balance of both. But when it gets to a point that it's coming, like it's clashing, you have to know that you come first. You make yourself your own responsibility. You make yourself your own priority. No one's gonna do that for you. Maybe you have like super supportive people in your life that do, but something I've learned, the hard way is that you have to be able to provide that for yourself. So many people will go and will try to, be that for other people. We put other people's needs first before our own, and we'll bend over backwards to fulfill other people's needs. And oftentimes we do that because we want them to do that for us in return. Like we think, well, if I do it for you, then you'll do it for me. But what you have to understand is that you can't expect you from people. So just because you're doing that for other people doesn't mean that they're willing to do that for you. And the only person that you can be mad at in that scenario is yourself, because you were the one that didn't have boundaries. You were the one that wasn't putting yourself first, when that's your job to do that for you. You can't look for someone else external to you to fulfill that need for you. You have to be able to fulfill that need for yourself. And when you're able to do that, show up in that way for you, this is the place you have to be in so that you can be able to express yourself, to speak your truth, to have confidence, to be coming from a place of power, of personal power, to know that, yeah, like I belong everywhere, but I belong nowhere. Because for some of us, it's not that we're separating or parting ways, but I think for the majority of us, it's more so that we're going to start expressing what our needs are so that the healing can start within the group, because how can someone know what your needs are if you're not expressing them, So it's just a matter of everyone just taking accountability for themselves, prioritizing themselves. And when you do that, then you're in a much better position to be able to show up for others in a fair, balanced way, where it's like everyone is doing no harm, but taking no shit, It's very balanced. Everyone has like that self-awareness, that respect for self, for others. And I know it's not gonna happen overnight, and that's obviously the ideal situation, right? But that's what you want to start creating for yourself. That's what you want to start creating around you, is harmony, And if you're in a situation where that's not happening or where it's impossible, then you need to be able to remove yourself out of that situation and to be patient, to create a safe space for yourself and not be afraid to be alone, and knowing that you will find your people that can respect you and your boundaries and treat you fairly and treat you equally and appreciate you and see you, all of those things. But you have to be willing to walk away from anything that's toxic or just not true to who you are. You have to be able to be fully comfortable with yourself and to feel like you can express yourself and like you don't have to hide parts of yourself to fit in, Be able to validate yourself and really consider yourself. So yeah, definitely like the spotlight is on us, It's on you. It's all about you and being able to, with time, with patience, like cultivate this wisdom so that you can really thrive like in a group setting where it can really be like harmonious, loving, caring, genuine, where everyone just like genuinely loves each other, cares for each other. There's like a family bond, family ties. It feels that way. It doesn't have to be like your family by blood, but it's like you're able to be in a group where things are very equal, fair, balanced, loving, genuine, pure. And maybe some of us are learning to like be able to handle this kind of group dynamic, It's a general reading, so like we're all coming from different walks, from different perspectives. There could be people here that might think, that they always have to give their opinions, or that they're always the one that needs to delegate and needs to problem solve, and maybe they don't allow for other people to give their own perspective, or they don't allow other people to be themselves. They don't account for that. And maybe you're the problem, in other words, like maybe you're the problem. At some point in our lives, we've all been the problem, So this can be like a learning lesson in that way too, where it's like everyone is just learning how to coexist in a way that's going to be fulfilling for everyone, in a way that's going to be very pure and kind and true. So we're all working on this, Whether you're coming from the aspect of like, I need to start holding up my own boundaries, I need to have a backbone, I can't let people walk all over me, I need to stay true to myself, I have to stop betraying myself, or whether you're coming from the perspective of like, I really need to hear other people out, I need to listen to other people, I need to be more flexible, more open. Maybe I'm not always the smartest one in the room. Maybe I don't always have all of the answers. Maybe my perspective has been a bit flawed. Maybe I am selfish. Maybe I don't consider others, like whatever it is, wherever it is that you're coming from. I feel like something is going to be revealed to us, illuminated to us, and it's going to give us the opportunity to take action. But regardless if you take action or you don't take action, I think that this time could be bringing like really big, unexpected changes, But however it seems, like however it comes about, like if it comes very fiery, very aggressive, very overwhelming, right now could be a time of overwhelm for sure. Just know that things are shifting, things are rearranging in what appears to be for the best. Because again, like it's up to us, how you handle this, what direction you choose to go. Are you going to be the poison or are you going to be the healing? Because we have the potential to bring either to the equation. So it's always up to us, ultimately. So, but I know everyone here watching this, we're going to choose healing, okay? We're going to choose to create a safe space for ourselves, to have patience, to let this wisdom cultivate, to let this wisdom reveal itself, to let it heal us and show us what it needs to show us. Bring truth, shine light on the truth in a very loving and compassionate way, okay? Don't sit here and feel guilty. Even if you do feel like, damn, I've been a dick, like I've been an asshole, like even if you are coming from that place, like compassion, okay? Give yourself compassion. We're all, we've all been there. We've all been the dick. We've all been the asshole. But it's never too late, to recognize where you're coming from, what you're doing, and to come more into alignment with, the way that you want to show up, with what's going to feel good for you. So love yourself through this. Forgive yourself, forgive others. You are being supported. You are not alone ever. You are loved. You are so loved no matter what. And just do the best you can. That's all we can ever do. It's just when we know better, we do better. So just do the best that you can. and let who you truly are be revealed. Let's remove the clouds out of the way, let's remove the log out of our own eye and let ourselves be who we truly are, our true inner nature, our true inner being. Let that be what shines forth, what comes to the forefront. It's already there. It already exists. Some of us just need to fan out the clouds out of the way, clear out the clouds so that we can truly see what's already here. And that's the work, that's the work that we're doing, diligently working on every day to do, because it takes time. It takes time. I remember when I first started my healing journey back in 2018, 2 weeks in, I had done a lot of work already. 2 weeks in, I'm uncovering a lot of things, I'm setting the intentions, I'm getting certain answers here and there. And I'm oh my gosh, yeah, this makes so much sense. Okay, this must mean I'm healed, I'd be on that high for a couple of days. And then maybe a week or two later, I'm back finding myself again, in these same cycles and these same patterns. And I'm wait a minute, hold on, I thought I was healed. I'm why do I still feel this way? I thought it was just gonna happen just like that, I thought I could just heal so easily and quickly, and it wasn't gonna take effort and dedication and time, But yeah, it really is a job, and it is something that you have to continuously do forever. You have to be mindful about what you have to work on. You have to start repeating, rewiring better responses, better habits. It might involve dismantling certain beliefs, or really going back to see where things stemmed from, and trying to amend certain core beliefs, harmful core beliefs. So yeah, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of clarity to attain this wisdom. But, just be patient, because it will happen as long as you just continue to be present in the moment. It's not about well, when, when am I going to be healed? In a year from now, in 2 years? It's not about worrying, It's a never-ending thing. We're just always, there's always going to be ways that we can improve and that we can be better. It's just forever unfolding, forever evolving. So be patient with yourself. Make sure that you have a safe space to process, to feel safe, to feel secure, somewhere that you can go to, a sanctuary. That's really important to have that, to create that sacred space, whatever or wherever it is for you. And with diligence and just really committing yourself to living out what becomes important to you, you are guaranteed success. If you need to learn how to be more cooperative, or if you have to learn that you do need to be able to have the courage to speak up and to stand up for yourself so that you don't get all trampled on and consumed in groups, this is what we're working on. This is what we're doing. Making sure that we are living with integrity, with authenticity, following our heart, being true to ourselves, first and foremost. Because when you can respect yourself and honor yourself, you know how to do that. It's easier to be able to respect and honor another, and to give someone that space to do the same for themselves, or to influence them, to guide them, to be that role model that shows them how it's done, So yeah, you guys, definitely check out your rising sign to see where this is happening for you, what part of your birth chart this is happening, so you know exactly where you could be expecting these energies to really come through. That was our message. I truly hope this has served you. Wishing you guys all the love and peaceful healing vibes. Big hugs. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.